Yeah. So it depends on where you are in the life cycle. The growth phase is definitely in all dynamics, from your customer to your research and development, your product, your service. That is, it almost always have to stay in your growth phase, because if you don't um, look at new innovative ways to do business and to adapt to your environment, um, you need to grow and keep on growing, like a building blocks. So you need to know what your customer wants and always adapt. Once you start getting into your maturity phase, it can easily spill over to going into the decline phase. So once that happens, your business, you need to start looking at something else.
So, and we'll put that slide up around it. There are different tools to analyze, obviously, the environment in which you operate, to make those assessments, and we'll put that up as well. Customer analysis. You spoke about environmental basics. Where are you situated? How many feet do you have? You obviously consider a smaller footprint compared to the pricing that you pay per square meters. Something that a mall, for example, will bring you a lots of feet, but you have to always balance up your expenses versus what do you profit, the profit level or margins that you're making. So things like the turbulence in the market. I know, for example, there's an opposition that moved in right opposite yourself. Then things like the pestle analysis, political, economic, social, cultural, technological, and legal analysis. So those are the things that you take in consideration as well. We spoke about industry life cycle. We'll zoom into that a little bit more in depth. The key factors for success, the things that will make you successful, obviously profit will make you, as an indication. But I think customer satisfaction is also right up there. 5 forces analysis, 4 links analysis, competitor analysis, all those things are tools. But the interesting one for me is that you've mentioned that you've moved through different phases in your business. And obviously when you start up, there's a lot of things that you have to consider, and we'll put that slide up as well so that people can see the different phases that you spoke about. But the one that I just quickly want to talk about, your company strategy, overall strategy, where you've obviously looked to provide a special product to your customer. You've enhanced that product through time. Obviously, you've increased the quality, made sure that you control the quality as best as you can by roasting your own coffee beans. Not a lot of research and development now going on in coffee, but you've moved that research and development into other products.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. That you've adjusted according to what you think you should be doing next. So your coffee shop, you reckon, if we look at your coffee shop, at which phase do you think between introduction, growth, maturity, and decline phase, where would you say you are at this point in time?
Well, over those sectors, I'd say I'm in the middle of growth and maturity, because, like I said earlier, you can never stop growing your business. It's all about managing your risk. If you have a food display full of product, and every day you have to throw away half of that because we bake fresh in shop, which also makes us different. It's we use good ingredients. You can taste those ingredients in your product, but also managing your losses, because if you it's profit you throw away if you make it look nice and full, but you need to look at those risks where you are.
And each one of these products probably have as its own unique process to
Yeah.
get it. I mean, to bake a brownie versus to make a cup of coffee. Beans will last a little bit longer than the ingredients for the brownie, etc. The brownie itself.
Yeah.
So each one has got its own shelf life almost.
The
And
shelf
then
life.
each one of those, you don't want to overbake. So you have to adjust the whole time to make sure that you keep just enough, not too much.
Yes.
So that obviously takes time as well. So here's the question for you. If you introduce a new product, you have to actually start off with the introduction phase right from the beginning again. So you
That's
might
exactly.
find your coffee is in a maturity phase because it's established, the processes are established, etc. Your whole supply chain is established. Whereas you introduce a new product, it's got a totally different, slightly different, depending on what it is, supply chain, life cycle, etc. And you almost have to drive each one of them through its own cycle, and then get to a point where you say, okay, it's now at maturity phase. I know how many I need to bake, etc. That I don't waste on the one hand, but on the other hand, that I have enough to meet my customer.
To meet the demand. And then that will just go back to the new product. Then that cycle starts over.
Starts again. Yeah.
Because you have to keep your customer occupied. You have to keep them interested.
Correct.
If you stagnate with your products that you have, customers get bored with that product. So by introducing new products, you start the process from scratch again, which keeps things interesting in business.
Yeah, and there's some interesting, and we'll put up the book on corporate life cycles. It explains, how you identify where you are at and what are the things that you can do in order to drive towards the next phase. But also, I'm thinking about 3M, the company that's made
sticky notes.
Sticky notes, and how they got to make the sticky notes. So you have to reinvent yourself almost, not get rid of your existing products that works. Obviously, the ones that don't work, you get that out. But you continuously reinvent yourself to bring in new products where and as you can, listening to your customer the whole time, staying in tune with your customer, you being your biggest customer yourself, making sure that the quality meets your expectation, your high expectations.